And I'm Lauren Laverne. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to this, the European premiere of one of the most eagerly awaited, hotly anticipated films of the year. This is, of course, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them! Oh yes, tonight we enter a new era of J.K. Rowling's A Wizarding World set decades before Harry Potter and half a world away in America. It's a film that introduces us to the likes of Niffles, Bowchuckles and Demi-Geysers, to name but a few. And tonight you are in the right place because this blue carpet is going to be awash with the talented cast and filmmakers who brought this movie to the big screen. Tonight we are going to be welcoming the likes of producers Lionel Wigram, Tim Lewis, Rick Sennett and David Heyman. We have director David Yates joining us tonight, along with the writer and creator of Fantastic Beasts, J.K. Rowling. Yes, she will be walking this blue carpet. As well as that, we have the cast coming down. Ezra Miller is going to be here. Alison Sudol, Dan Fogler, Catherine Waterston, and, of course, Newt Scamander himself, Eddie Redmayne, will be here.
Oh, yes, and a rapturous reception is awaiting them. And it is a truly global event this here tonight. We are coming to you live from London's Leicester Square, but we're going out across Europe to cities including Moscow, Kiev, Helsinki, Berlin, Amsterdam, Brussels, Lisbon, Paris, and Madrid. So hello, hello, and welcome to all of you. And of course, we're broadcasting live online on the web as well. We want you to get involved using the hashtag, and here it comes, Fantastic Beasts. So send us your messages now.
She's the reason we are all here tonight. Please welcome the creator of the Wizarding World, J.K. Rowling! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined now at the European premiere of Fantastic Beasts by the one and only Mr. Ezra Miller! Ezra, tell me, how has your little stroll down the blue carpet this evening been so far?
It's been too brief so far. I'm excited to get to the other quadrants.
They are divided into quadrants, and there's a lot of fans here who want to meet you now. Let's start by talking a little bit about you taking the role of Credence, because he's a bit of a troubled soul, isn't he?
Yes, that's true. For me, the process was really initially talking to people who had parallel experiences to Credence's experience. So I really have to thank this organization called Childline, which is out here in the UK. I was able to talk to some of their responders. I was able to talk to a survivor of abuse, similar to the abuse that Credence goes through. And it was incredibly helpful. And then for me, it was very fun to play with the physicality of the performance.
Now, obviously, we are live across Europe for this premiere, Ezra, so we have questions that have come in.
I heard Helsinki, is it true?
This is...
I hear we're broadcasting live to Scandinavia.
We absolutely are. In fact, it's a big hello right now. It's Hutska Ilta Swame, which I hope I've got right.
I'm not going to try to say that.
I took that bullet for you. So they are in Finland, and they're looking at us from 19 venues across the country. A big hello to you. And they have asked you, Ezra, in preparing to take on this character, which you've touched on already, how did you find a way into the role, and were you a fan of J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World before this movie?
I think, like many of the people here, I've been an enormous fan of this world from such a young age. And we share so many memories. It's a strange thing and a beautiful thing. I mean, what an amazing gift J.K. Rowling has given us, right? I can remember listening to the audiobooks the first time I ever went away from home and I was homesick. and them giving me comfort. So many memories. I can remember listening to the sixth book with my dad on this drive through the night in like backwoods Pennsylvania. Just all, yeah. So it means a lot. I think it means a lot to a lot of people.
So it's safe to say you were pretty thrilled to become part of it.
That is safe to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're now heading over to Portugal, to Cinema Nos in Colombo, Lisbon's biggest... Cinema Nos Colombo, Lisbon's biggest cinema, so I'm going to get this one right. Hola, Portugal. Their question for you is, what was for you the most magical or memorable moment during the shooting of Fantastic Beasts?
That's a tricky one because it was chock-a-block with fantastic moments. Let's see, I think probably my first day when I first saw the set come to life is the one forever imprinted in my mind. To see 1920s New York and then to see undercover wizarding regalia in motion, it was extremely exciting.
And it is an incredible pace. Now, Eddie, we are taking questions from all our fans and your fans and fans of the Wizarding World from around Europe. And it's time to head to Berlin.
I'm looking at the back here, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the European premiere of Fantastic Beasts, Mr. Dan Fogler! So let me ask you, how have you found this London welcome at the European premiere, Dan?
This is intense, man. This is amazing. Look at this. It looks pretty magical out here. I love all the goblets of fire burning over here. On the way up, I was just like, wow, this is intense, man.
We've gone all out, Dan. We've gone all out. So let's talk about your character, Jacob Kowalski, because I'd argue, has there been a more lovable soul on cinema screens this year? What a great role.
Wow. I don't think so. Who else is this? Right? You love me, don't you? Silence. Yeah, man, I just had a blast playing this character, and I loved my character. He felt like a family member. So if it looks like I'm having the time of my life, I am on screen there, yeah.
And is it all right being the only nomad surrounded by wizards?
It is, because, you know, it makes me unique, and Han Solo wasn't a Jedi, you know? And he got to fly around with Chewbacca.
Love the comparison, love the comparison. Dan, we are taking questions from our viewers who are watching this premiere live all around Europe, and it's time to head to Holland, to the stunning Magical Pathé Tuschinski Theatre in the centre of Amsterdam, probably Holland's most iconic cinema. Goedenavond and Dewey, Netherlands. They are asking you, Dan, name your favourite beast from the movie and why you like them.
Good idea. I love the Niffler because he is quite hysterical. He gets big laughs in the movie, and he has a marsupial pouch that's like a dimension, like in an unto itself. Like he can take the case and put that in his pouch, and then like take the back, you know, like. I'm just amazed what can fit in there.
I think you're a fan of pouches. I think if you could have a pouch, would you have a pouch?
I think if I could, I like the idea of like getting into a pouch and just be like cozy and just being jumped around everywhere.
Oh, we need to buy you a kangaroo. All right, now we're heading over to Belgium, and fans watching at the Kinopoly, the biggest cinema in Brussels. Bonsoir, Bruxelles. Their question is, what's your favourite spell from the movie? And why? As a nomad, can you have a favorite spell?
I guess so, yeah. I like, from our movie?
Yeah.
I like the whole apparate and disapparate. You know, I love that whole thing where it's like, you know, you get to teleport everywhere. You don't have to pay any bus fare.
It's going to be a very weird sentence, but tell us about that dance and where the inspiration for it came from, because it's wonderful.
Well, there's a moment, particularly as a from
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the European premiere, Mr. Eddie Redmayne! How are you feeling having walked the blue carpet at the premiere for Fantastic Beasts, Eddie?
I'm pretty excited. Everything about this film was so shrouded in secrecy. And as a cast, we are so bad at keeping secrets that we're so thrilled that finally it's going out into the world and we can stop being in charge of the secret keeping.
It's all out there now. Everyone gets to know everything. But just in case there is anyone still out there going, a magi-zoologist, just tell us a little bit about what Newt actually does.
So Newt he's a self-proclaimed magi-zoologist and probably the only one of them. But in the wizarding world, magical creatures give away that wizards exist. And so they are kind of maligned by the wizarding community, whereas he believes that if with a proper education system and studying them, then they should all be able to live together. So in his case, he has saved all these creatures from around the world, and in his case, in these extraordinary habitats, they all live together.
And it is an incredible case. Now, Eddie, we are taking questions from all our fans and your fans and fans of the wizarding world from around Europe. And it's time to head to Berlin, where we have people watching in the famous Sony Center IMAX, the venue of hundreds of Germany's biggest film premieres. Guten Abend, Berlin. They ask, if you could have one of the beasts as a pet at home, which one would you choose? And also a second question, a sub-question, if you will. Newt Scamander has traveled the world. Have you, Eddie, ever been to Berlin? So which is a pet, and have you been to Berlin?
I've not only been to Berlin, but I've been to that cinema in Berlin. So, hi, guys.
Oh, which seat? Do you remember which seat? Someone will be sitting in it right now.
I can't remember. I do remember what I saw. But it's a great cinema, and I love your country. My favorite creature, it kind of oscillates. I adore Pickett, who's the little bowtruckle who has attachment issues. He's a little stick insect that lives in Newt's top pocket. I think he's who I'd love to have as a pet because he gives good hugs. But maybe the Niffler, I think Newt has a kind of love-hate relationship with. I heard Dan was saying the Niffler. We kind of all love the Niffler. You could get really rich really quickly with the Niffler. You just send them out into like a jewelry store and
yeah, you have some incredible scenes with the Niffler. I love the Niffler as well. Okay, that's Berlin, and now we're heading over to Paris, where we have friends watching in the grandfather of French cinemas, Le Grand Rex in central Paris, arguably France's most famous and impressive cinema. Bonsoir, Paris. They ask, Harry Potter was huge in France. Do you think Fantastic Beasts has got what it takes to win the love of the French people?
I hope so. I hope so. Like, all of us involved in this film were Harry Potter fans, and so if you're a fan of something, you don't want to be the one that then comes and screws it up. But when we read this script, it was so filled with wonder, excitement, all the warmth of the Potter films, but set 70 years before with a kind of new energy to it. So I'm hoping that you guys will embrace it as much as we enjoyed making it. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a woman who needs no introduction. It's the one and only J.K. Rowling! Wow. How does it feel to be back at a premiere here in London's Leicester Square for a movie set in the wizarding world, your film?
Yes, completely surreal. I did not think this was going to happen, and it's happened. So, but we're really, really proud of the movie. So I'm very excited. I've had a blast doing this.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk about that. Where was the original idea? Where did it come from? Because obviously, when you created the textbook in the original Harry Potter, did at that point you think, do you know what? There might be a movie in that one day.
Well, Warner Brothers optioned the book at the time, and which I didn't really think about, but I did know a lot about Newt, a lot more than... because I just really liked him as a character, and I had some ideas about him. And when they said we'd like to do something with Beast, I thought, well, I'd better tell them what I know about Newt then. So I started making notes, and then that became a screenplay. So that's how that happened.
And what's it like then? So you've created this character, you've kind of fallen in love with this character, you've written the screenplay, and then to see Eddie Redmayne bringing him to life on screen, what's that like?
Well, Eddie is just... as we all know, he's one of the best actors in the world. So getting the call saying that Eddie wanted to do it was exciting enough. But I'm thrilled with what he's done with the character. It's just walked out of my head. It's an amazing thing to see.
And also, I think we have to say thank you for writing into the script Eddie Newt performs a mating dance, because that is a wonderful scene for the Rumpants.
Yes, I love that whole sequence in the zoo, yes. We shouldn't give too much away, but yes, I love that too.
Okay, well, that is the last thing I will mention on that front. Let's talk about what it is like seeing these creatures that you've come up with in your mind and then put on the page actually come to life through the magic of movie making on the cinema screen.
Well, as you know, the Potter movies gathered together so much talent in Leavesden, and I'm very proud of what we did for British filmmaking. And that team has worked on Beasts, and I think people will agree when they've seen this movie, they have surpassed themselves. It's just the most beautiful film.
Now, as we can see, there are fans here in Leicester Square. There are fans chomping at the bit more than any Fantastic Beast to see this movie. How excited are you to have these fans explore a similar and yet strikingly different corner and period of the wizarding world?
Well, I'm very excited because you don't have to have seen Potter to enjoy this. That was my ambition, that we're going back in time. You can't rely on anything you already know. So while it does connect with the Potter period to an extent in that there are characters you find out. It's an open secret, Dumbledore's a young man at this point. But it was a period in wizarding history I was always very interested in, and so it's incredibly satisfying to go back and do it justice.
Okay, one final question. Obviously, we've got more movies to come. Have you got it all planned out? Are you there already, or is it still something that is whirring away in that mind?
It's exactly as it was with Potter, funnily enough. I know exactly where I'm getting to, but I don't know exactly how I'm going to get there. I have ideas along the way. So, no, it's not mapped out to the point that all the screenplays are written. So I always said I like to have room to play. So I've still got room to play, but I do know what the end point is, yeah.
Ensemble of talented people.
Yeah, again, it's just all the people around about, you know, with Katie, Colin, Catherine, Alison.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined now by the man responsible for bringing this vision to the big screen, director of Fantastic Beasts, Mr. David Yates! How are you feeling back again in Leicester Square within the wizarding world? How's it going?
Wow, it's like coming home, isn't it, Alex? It's sort of deja vu. Here we go again, you know, 5-6 years later. It's lovely. And, you know, the spirit of the fans never really changes. It never went away. In fact, I'm surprised they haven't got a bit older, you know? No, but it's lovely. It's a really lovely feeling. And we're very proud of the movie. It's an interesting movie. It's a departure from Hogwarts. J.K. Rowling's written this extraordinary new chapter that feels very, very different and yet feels reassuringly the same. It's a real achievement, I think, on her part in terms of creating a screenplay that has the best of what we had but takes us somewhere fresh.
And I guess what must be quite exciting for you, other than the fact that this is all quite exciting, is you inherited some aspects of Hogwarts by the time you joined the Harry Potter series. So this is you creating a world from scratch. What was that like?
That was probably one of the best bits of making the movie. You know, with Potter, the train was already halfway on its journey. You know, it was already halfway along the tracks, and I was invited on board, which was a great privilege, frankly, because the world had been set up by Chris Columbus and Mike Newell and Alfonso, and my job then was to darken the world, grow it up, make it a bit more intense. But yes, now I'm sort of inviting people onto the engine, as it were, and it's so much. It's what directors always do. You know, you cast the movie, you start it from scratch, you sort of establish the tone, and so that's been great fun.
And very quickly, before I let you go and enjoy what is an incredible premiere, how are you feeling? The fans are about to see it. The fans in their millions are going to see it. Are you excited? Are you nervous? What emotions are you going through right now on the eve of release?
Do you know, when you make a movie, you spend 2 years of your life crafting it, shaping it, delivering it with a team of hundreds, in this case thousands. And so you're a little nervous, and it's a bit like having a child. You want the world to love it and nurture it and protect it and come to it and be proud of it. And we're proud of the movie, and I'm cautiously optimistic that people will like it.
I, for one, bloomin' loved it. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, the brilliant David Yates.
See you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alison Sudol to the stage. Alison, how has it been? Welcome, first of all, to Leicester Square on a very special night. How's the European premiere shaping up for you so far?
It's incredible. I mean, look at this reception. We are being welcomed so beautifully. It's a little overwhelming. I'm a little emotional.
Oh, good. Well, I think it's right to be, because this is not Leicester Square normally. This is a big night. Let's talk about Queenie. What a great role. What a great character. Did you fall in love with her when you read her on the page? And tell us a bit about her.
I did. I fell in love with Queenie instantly the moment that I was told about her. She is so warm-hearted and kind and empathetic and lovely and mischievous, and she just so alive. And she also can read minds, which is an incredible quality. She's got a deep understanding of humanity. I just love her.
Have you ever wanted to be able to read minds? I think it's one of those powers we all go, wouldn't that be great?
It would be great. I think it would be a little overwhelming, especially tonight. That would be a lot of thoughts.
There are a lot of minds here. Now, we are taking questions from all your fans around Europe. We have fans watching in numerous cities, and now we're going to head to Ukraine, where we have fans watching live at Planeta Kino, Kiev's biggest cinema, home of Ukraine's top film premieres, Yak Spravi Kiev. Their question for you, Alison, is every big role leaves its imprint on an actor's everyday life. Has this film made you want to learn magic and take a fantastic beast home?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that we kind of took a bit of magic with us with this film, that the friendships that we all forged during this film are magical, and I feel very grateful to be in it with these amazing people. And I would take the Niffler home, but it would definitely be a difficult pet to have. I'd constantly have to apologize for him taking all of my friends' jewelry, all my neighbors' jewelry. But
I will say this, I think you're the fourth cast member to mention the Niffler tonight. The Niffler is getting a lot of love.
He is pretty delicious. I hope everybody else falls in love with him as much as we have.
I think they will when they see the movie. Alison, have a wonderful rest of your night. Ladies and gentlemen, Alison Sudol! Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, what were you asking me? I'll do the big intro. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Catherine Waterston! Catherine, wow, you look incredible. Welcome to the European premiere. How has it been? It's a big one, huh?
Yes, it's so amazing to be here tonight. I'm thrilled to be in Leicester Square. Yes.
Fantastic news. Now, Tina, an incredible role. What did you think when you read it, and how does it feel playing her, and what's she like?
So many questions at once. Okay, the first one was, what did I think of her when I read the script? Well, I loved her complexity. She's very confident in her work, but she also harbors an insecurity, and that seemed very easy to relate to. There aren't too many people who are simply brave or simply weak. You know, we tend to have our good moments and our bad, and I really loved the way that was portrayed in the script. And yes, I mean, she's kind of this wonderful oddball, and I always think it's kind of hard to be an oddball until you find other oddballs, and she does in this film, and they all bring out the best in one another.
And you have a wonderful relationship. Your character has a wonderful relationship with Newt on screen. How was it working with Mr. Eddie Redmayne on the film?
It was pretty lame. He's not that talented, hardworking, or good-looking, so it was a little bit of a struggle for me, honestly. But we got through it. No, I mean, he's a dream to work with. He's so inventive and hardworking and creative, and yeah, it was a joy working with him.
Now, Catherine, we are taking questions from fans around Europe this evening, and we are heading over to Russia, where fans are watching at the Oktober, the biggest cinema, the Oktober, the biggest cinema in Moscow, where all the big premieres take place. Privet, Russia. They are asking, Newt has his larger-than-life magical case. If you had a case like Newt's, what would you place in that case?
Well, for starters, I would put a really good lock on it. And what would I put in it? I travel a lot these days, so if it was a magical case and I could put anything in there, I'd probably put my family in there. But also, I'm usually in places where it starts raining out of the blue, so I'd probably put my family in there on a tropical island.
We are now going to head over to the Kinopoli, Spain's biggest cinema, visited by many of the biggest Hollywood stars for their Spanish premieres. Hola España, and they are asking, you play a witch that works at Makusa and runs into Newt Scamander. Do you have a favourite spell and a favourite beast?
Okay, if I could take a spell from the magical world and put it into the real world, it would definitely be just apparating, so I would never have to go to an airport again. But my favorite spell in the magical world that I think I would get a lot of kicks out of doing is stupefy, because you get to see people frozen in funny positions.
I love stupefy as well. Okay, and your favourite beast, can you pick one? Is there a favourite? The Niffler has had a lot of love this evening.
The Niffler's amazing, and he's hilarious, and he's adorable, but because I'm so crazy about Eddie, about Newt, and he's so crazy about the Bowtruckle, little Pickett, I think, like, by association, I gotta go with Pickett.
I love Pickett as well. I'm pleased. It was a Niffler.
It would stress me out. He'd be taking my ring off right now. It would just be too much to deal with.
Okay, final question for the moment, because we've seen them on film, but you've actually seen them in person. What was it like walking on to what are some of the most incredible sets in any film this year?
Man, it was such an incredible time warp. My grandmother was a young woman in New York in the 20s, so I felt like I was getting to see her New York, because the town's changed quite a bit since then. And it was really breathtaking, but we all had to act like we weren't impressed, or nervous, so I don't know how well you could see it on the outside, but I was shaking on the inside. Yeah, it was incredible.
Well, listen, congratulations on a great performance in a wonderful film. Ladies and gentlemen, Catherine Waterston.
Here we are in a splash of rain, let's be honest. Yes, that's what we need. About to talk to the wonderful Carmen Ejogo. But before we do that, few comments from viewers catching us on the live stream and using the hashtag Fantastic Beasts. Carrie says, we're here at the premiere, all the way from Germany. Hope you've got your brollies with you. So excited. Jade says, Ezra Miller, who plays Credence in Fantastic Beasts, is currently on the red carpet. And Mark with a C says, premiere happening right now, and I can't tell you how excited I am. Samantha adds, here all the way from Australia on the blue carpet. Incredible. I'm so super keen. I mean, Carmen, the heavens have opened, but it hasn't dampened spirits here in Leicester Square. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really great. I was going to say I'm feeling fantastic, but I think we've heard that enough tonight. No, I feel amazing. It's such a privilege to be here and to see the fans. The fans are amazing. I've never come across fans like this. They're really passionate and excited to see this film.
Now, you play a very important role, Serafina Pickery, and she is no less than the president. But of what? Tell me about her.
So Serafina is the president of the American Wizard Association, Makusa, and she has the very difficult task of keeping the wizarding community of America safe. And, sometimes you're going to like her, sometimes you're not sure if you should like her, but in the end, she's got all the wizards in mind, and that's her main task, is to keep us keep us protected.
And tell us a little bit about the Makusa set that you worked on as well. How would you describe it?
Oh, goodness. Epic is the first word that comes to mind. It was just so detailed and really nothing had been left, for the imagination to sort of work out for yourself. It really was in front of you, everything. Every tile in the subway was authentic. And, I mean, there was nothing that hadn't been considered. And the same for the costumes and the same for the props. Our wands was just incredible and all round real attention to detail. Makes it easier for an actor to really sort of get yourself into the role and do your job.
I was just going to say, what a gift. A few questions from our viewers online. Tisha says, what was your reaction when getting the part?
Something like that. No, it was a quiet reaction, but I knew that I'd sort of entered into a world that had an incredible legacy. Some amazing some of the best British actors ever have worked on the Harry Potter films in the past, and so to be part of that sort of lineage felt like a real privilege.
And the Netherlands fan page writes, can you describe the film in 3 words?
Ooh. Magical, action-filled, and fantastic.
Perfect. Carmen, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Time for a little social media update here on the blue carpet. At the Fantastic Beasts premiere, the hashtag is Fantastic Beasts. True magic is here today, says Masha B. I can hear that J.K. Rowling is behind me. Oh my goodness. Jen says, lifelong dream. I'm attending a Harry Potter premiere. Came all the way from California for Fantastic Beasts. And J.K. Rowling's here. Oh my goodness. Jo, welcome. How does it feel to be here tonight?
Surreal, mad, sorry. Because it's falling in my eyes, I can't see. It feels, yes, completely surreal. Yeah.
So we have a drizzly audience here, braving the rain in Leicester Square, but we also have fans watching around the world. What's your message to them?
I'm really proud of the movie. I think we all are, everyone, because obviously movie making is about hundreds of people. So I just hope they love it as much as we do.
And obviously, I mean, you know, tackling the screenplay this time around, a new form. How was that, and what was the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge was everything, because I didn't really mean to do it. It was all a bit of an accident. Warner Brothers wanted to make a movie out of the little book that I'd written in 2000, so I wrote some notes, then that became a story, then I roughed out a screenplay, and I thought we'd probably end up giving it to someone competent, and instead they sort of let me do it, which was a bit... So it was all a bit of an accident, a very happy accident. I'm thrilled.
A sensational cast and a wonderful cast of beasts. We've been talking to people about their favourite beasts on screen. The Niffler's been getting a lot of love. What's yours?
I knew the Niffler would be popular. The Niffler is very easy to love. My personal favourite is probably the Demiguise, which is it's a weird creature, and I like it for its strange sight. Yes.
And what about that incredible cast? I mean, what an ensemble cast for this film. How does it feel to see them bringing your work to life on screen?
Well, you know, I don't think there's a writer alive who, if told Eddie Redmayne wanted to play their lead, wouldn't think they died and gone to heaven. So I'm so grateful, yeah. They have been astonishingly good. I think people are going to love those characters.
And the Wizarding World just has this global appeal. I mean, it crosses borders, it traverses the entire world. People are joining us all around Europe. I mean, why is that, do you think? Why does the appeal have so much ability to travel?
I think it's the perennial appeal of magic, you know, I think. And also, there's something delicious in this idea of hiding in plain sight, that there's a world within a world that we could all access. That's what it is for me. And I think from nearly 20 years of talking to readers and fans, that's what they love, I think.
And sharing that Wizarding World with us again, I mean, it's just wonderful. You must be so excited to get the movie out there and for the fans to see it.
I am. Today's, you know, it's been nerve-wracking. The bar's high. You know, I literally think I've said no 1,000 times to people who wanted to do it in different media and do different stage plays and movies and offshoots and TV shows and cartoons and advertisements, and I cannot tell you how many offers. And it said no. And then this year we get 2. You wait 9 years and suddenly you get Cursed Child and you get Fantastic Beasts, but that's because it was the right it was the right project. They were things I was really excited about.
Well, we're so glad you said yes to this. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Lauren, thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
What a night here in Leicester Square. You can join in the conversation, tell us what you think of the live stream and indeed how excited you are about this film with the hashtag Fantastic Beasts. Eddie Redmayne is right there. He's right next to us. Braving the rain, being a good egg, and chatting to the many fans who have been here for hours. Have you been here for literally hours? And yeah, all day. hours and hours. Luckily, their skin's waterproof. They're all doing incredibly well. We're getting lots of messages online using the hashtag Fantastic Beasts. Kirsten writes, back to witches and wizards and magical beasts. Heather at, she's here and she looks amazing. At J.K. Rowling, hashtag Fantastic Beasts. J.K. Rowling's here and the premiere is spectacular, says Holly. Some serious all caps going on tonight. I think you're as excited as we are. I'm watching the Fantastic Beasts European premiere in London on the live stream, says Far Junius. Hello to you. And Hayley says, currently watching the Pottermore live stream of the Fantastic Beasts premiere. I am so excited. John writes also, European live premiere is distracting me from my work today. Well, that's a good thing. I mean, you know, you can't work and do magic at the same time. Helen adds, so J.K. Rowling, life now complete. And Brogan says, got it, I'm not at the Fantastic Beasts premiere here in London, but I'm watching live from South Shields, my neck of the woods. Say hello to my Auntie Sharon if you are out on the high street tomorrow. Keep the messages coming. Hashtag Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the European premiere of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'd like you to all now please welcome to the stage the President and Managing Director of Warner Brothers UK. Give it up for Mr. Josh Berger.
We are so excited to be back in London, back in Leicester Square, where we had 8 extraordinary Harry Potter film premieres, all under this magnificent reign. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them takes place decades before Harry was at Hogwarts, when Magic zoologist Newt Scamander. And now I'd like to introduce two of the leading lights from our industry. First, the producer of all 8 Harry Potter films, who was also instrumental in making it the most successful film franchise in history. And the director of the last 4 Harry Potter films, who has truly outdone himself with tonight's movie. Ladies and gentlemen, witches and wizards, please give it up for our producer, David Heyman, and the director of Fantastic Beasts, and Where to Find Them, David Yates.
Thank you so much, guys. We've got a movie to watch, so I'm going to make this very brief. I want to introduce you to some wizards right here with us today. And the first wizard, very special guy, and a wonderful, wonderful man and actor. With her storytelling, which has reached millions of people around the world, cross cultures with its values and its imagination. And she's now taking that work forward with her charity, Lumos, in beautiful ways.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the cast and filmmakers of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Now, before I let you leave the stage, we do have to say goodbye to our fans watching across Europe. So if you take a look at the screens either side of the stage, we can just say cross live to them so they can give you a cheer and say goodbye. First up, it's the Sony Center in Berlin. Guten Abend, Berlin. Now we go to Le Grand Rex in Paris. Bonsoir, Le Rex. Moving on to the Canopolis in Madrid. Hola, España. We're now heading to the Pathé Chachinsky Theatre in Amsterdam. Hoeden avonden doei Netherlands. Over to Cinema Nos Colombo in Lisbon right now. Hola, Portugal. Crossing over to Canopolis, Bruxelles. Bonsoir, Bruxelles. Next up, it's the fans in Helsinki. Huska Ilta Swami. Now we head to October in Moscow. Privyet, Russia. And finally, our friends at Planeta Kino in Kiev. Yak Spravi Kiev. Guys, in Leicester Square, let's give a huge cheer for all the European fans watching across the continent right now. And once again, let's hear it for the people who've made this movie possible. The cast and filmmakers of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Sadly, that is all the time we have at the premiere, but a huge thank you to you, the fans here, for making it such a memorable night. I'm sure you will enjoy the movie. That is it from us. Good night!